Okay, here we are. Pebble Beach, hole 1. Everybody knows this hole. Okay, it's got the upslope going all the way up. We're on the side. We're 5 feet out almost. Balls are rolling downhill. These are the putts that you guys are missing. Sometimes I miss them too. But anyway, neither here nor here. This is the aimer box. Okay? Inside the aimer box, you see you have numbers, letters, and arrows. You got borders on both sides. This is the lock. First thing you ever want to do when you putt is unlock it. Okay? I don't want to be condescending to you, but you got to unlock the lock. The reason is, all you see now is what you get. Either side. So this side, you go to that side, go to this side, go to that side. That's all you can see. But when you unlock it, you can go into the middle of the aimer square and you can stop the dots to see what they're really doing. So I do this about 4 times to see how fast those dots are going right there. And I'm not going to get into that calculation. So we can go on the other side, you can do the same thing. You can stop them. But on the other side, you want to do this kind of thing with it unlocked. Let's see how the balls are going past the stick right here. So we're going to restart it. Let them go. Okay, I can see that. That's my point. I'm going to be putting right on this line right here. That's where the ball is going to travel through. Okay? So now I can see that those two in the middle are about the same speed. And you can look at it like this and restart it. Either you can go below the hole and restart it. Alright, by clicking this in the middle. Clicking this aimer square in the middle with your mouse. That's where I got my mouse right now. I'm clicking it. Okay? Over and over again. Alright, now, when I put the aimer back in there, I always put it on the front of the cup from where you're putting. The reason being is you don't want to end up in front. You want to end up back here. So it goes into the cup. So I always put it on the leading edge of the cup, away from the putt. Alright, so that's actually about 5.2. So the beginning of the putt, let me go back here a second. The beginning of the putt, the length of the putt right now is 4.7 if you put it back there. If you put it up here, you're going to make your calculation on 5-foot putt. Okay? So, here's what we're going to do on the aiming points. I'm not going to get into how fast those dots are moving across there. Okay? Because I count those by stopping them in the middle and then counting by 1001, 1002, 1003. From the middle of this, when you stop them, right? Right there. See how it stopped that dot? 1001, 1002, 1003. But in order to get the real 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002. Okay, so I'm stopping it in the middle, start counting, right? 1001, 1002. So that's how I get my dot speed. But we're going by aimer points only. You're going to have to do this by eye for all the hundreds and hundreds of putts you made. You can do this by eye because every one of these aiming points I'm about to give you is 95% of the time is where it's supposed to be. So I'll explain that in a minute. Alright, the first aiming point's where you're at. Right, so the laser beam's right down through the middle of the stick, right? So we all know that one's a dead putt. The dots aren't moving. You've got to ding it or miss hit it late a little bit so it doesn't curve to the left. The next aiming point is you just move it over just a hair because you barely have any movement going to the right. Over here, So you just want to make sure that you don't lip out, you know, by hitting the putt and hitting on this side of the hole. You all know this aiming point already. And you also know this aiming point, which is right on the edge of the cup. Okay? So those are two aiming points right there. The one right in the middle is the first. No, three aiming points. The one right in the middle is the first. Just a little bit over, just in case you don't want to rim out, because it's still going to go in. It's basically a straight putt. And then on the edge of the cup. So you got those three aiming points. Dead center, right there, and then on the edge of the cup. The next aiming point on the aimer square is right here. Okay, it's the stick up against these first two numbers. See how the stick's up against it? That's an aiming point. And you use this one a lot. Now, if you don't put it exactly up against them two numbers and you go, okay, I'm gonna leave it like I'm thinking in my head, I'm just doing this by head, and you leave it like that, that's not an aiming point in the algorithms of the game. So you're thinking you're outside there, you know, you're not on the lip of the cup, you're out here a little bit. Let me bring it up here though. So you're thinking, well, I'm not on the lip of the cup, but it looks like I need a little bit more out here. Well, you're off because you're not up against that exactly. And you're gonna miss that putt. So you want to get the stick right up against those numbers. Okay, that's the aiming point for that. After the edge of the cup. You see that? Alright, the next aiming point is this. It splits FT straight down through the middle. Straight down through the middle, it's going to go through FT and FN. Now, if you can't get it straight, you can use your double click the mouse. You can double click the mouse right here, right? And that moves it ever so slightly to get it dead in the middle. Okay? That's an aiming point. So what do we have so far? I'm going to go back. We got straight at the stick with the laser beam inside the cup, laser beam on the edge of the cup, stick up against the first two numbers, stick in FTIN, right? And you will miss the putt if you have it like this. So you want to make sure it's dead center. So the next aiming point is right here. Right on FT, right on the end of the border of the stick on the outside of FTIN. Okay, that's an aiming point. Next aiming point is right butted up against the stick on the aimer box. Okay, and when you get out this far, it's usually a 10-footer. Probably with these dot speeds, so you're probably going to go out, probably going to be there, depending on what speed you hit this putt, okay? We're going to be hitting this putt at 20, on my 20 meter, not a 10 meter. Now, I can go on and show you more. There's an aimer point here. Like if you guys are out there about 18 feet, you don't want to just randomly bring it into, you know, you want to use these aimer points out there, even if you don't even know if you're going to make it or not. Okay, so there's an aiming point, putting the green lock up against the stick, splitting the lock. I'm just throwing these in for you guys. I'm going to go right back and show you what the putting ones where you're missing them from 10 feet in. And I miss them too, but most of the time when I'm 4 to 5 feet, I'm going to make that putt. So, and there's another aiming point here for way out. When you get out there pretty far, 18 feet, and you're gonna take that curve out of it to go into the hole, right? So that's an aiming point too, and the aiming points go on and on by half a square next, which is there, another half, Oh, it's actually a quarter of a square. But anyway, let's go back. I'm going to go over again because repetition's good, right? Right on the stick, which is off a little bit, but it's right on the stick with the laser beam. You guys already know that one. You already know what's inside the cup, right? You already know the leading edge of the cup, right? Well, the next aiming point is right on those two numbers. Okay? Right on those two numbers. Then splitting FTIN. Splitting it. That's an aiming point. Then there is an aiming point. And then the border right up against the stick. And then the next one's just the green lock right there. Okay? So, if you use all these, we're going to reverse view now. Right? So I put the aimer in there. The way I do it though is I calculate the dot speed here. So I'll stop them 1001, 1002. Alright, you guys don't know this, don't listen to this part. So I need to know what I've got to move that aimer. So if it's going uphill, you want to subtract that from your calculation. So it's 3.5, right? 3.5 times 1.00. That's a constant number for a 1002 move. I'll get into that in another video if you guys want to learn that. But otherwise, we're just dealing with this square. So the calculation got me 3.5. Where's 3.5? I already know where 3.5 is with that dot speed, and it's right smack in the middle of FTIN. It's not here, it's not there, it's not a little bit halfway in between. It's smack in the middle because the algorithm for the game makes it that way 95% of the time, if not higher. Alright, so we're going to put it on a 20 meter. Now this is up to you how you putt this. I'm going to putt this putt right here at tournament green, at tournament speed, 12.0. I'm going to putt it, I'm going to putt it 5.5 feet. Now the green thing down here that they give you in practice mode, it says putt it 6 feet. Probably could, it seems like a little fast to me, so I'm going to do it 5.5. Okay. So mine was almost dead center. I bet if I would have putted it 6 as they wanted it down here, it probably would have came up a little bit closer. But as you see, now let's go and do this. All right, let's say you don't line the aimer up. Just kind of like leave it like that. Or you leave it like this. You know, so you can see blue here. You don't have it right down smack through the middle. It's very important to do those things. Alright? Let's see what it does. It should miss. Well, maybe it didn't. It's too close to do it, so. But anyway, I hope that helps you guys. I just did the aimer points for you. And if you use them over and over, you'll see where most putts are, and you know what the dot speed is in your head if you're doing it by eye. That's how those aiming points help you with those 8 foot and in putts.